Chicagoans tell me that they feel unsafe, that your public comments, televised public comments about defunding the police have them concerned, especially considering the spike in shootings, unsolved shootings, murders, carjackings. But even more disconcerting were your televised comments condoning the looting. You said that the out-of-control race riots and the looting in 2020 and 2021 were the result of hungry people, that people were hungry. Do you still believe that? And if you were mayor, would you condone looting and violence against the police?
I don't appreciate you mischaracterizing my words.
Well,
I've never... Give me a second, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Because this is an important issue. Because public safety is top of mind for everyone.
Absolutely.
Do you know where I live, sir?
Well, you live in Chicago.
I got you.
You're a resident?
I live in Chicago.
Yes.
I live on the west side of Chicago.
Right.
I live in one of the most violent neighborhoods in the entire city of Chicago. Do you notice, like raising black children in the city of Chicago, when you're worried about whether or not they can make it home safely from a bike ride? I know, hold on a second. I know what that's like. I have tremendous incentive to make sure that we have a safe city. In the last 4 years, there are more murders in my neighborhood than many neighborhoods combined. Almost 400 homicides. And many of them go unsolved. I've never said I was going to defund the police. I've never said that. And can you let me answer my question, okay? I've never said that. And I've also made it very clear that when people, these are the words of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. He said that rioting are the cries of the unheard. I never condoned it. I said it's important for us to understand the pain and suffering that people are experiencing. And we also have to make sure that we train and promote 200-word detectives so that we actually can catch people who commit crime.
There was rioting and organized looting last night, and you're calling to defund the police. Explain that.
Yeah, what we're seeing is obviously an outbreak of incredible frustration and anguish that communities that have been isolated through poverty over generations. And what we have is sort of a typical, very standard, quite frankly, a very tired response to the regularly scheduled pandemic, which is structural racism. And that response has been to increase police presence that has not led to anything of substance to secure communities and to make communities whole. And so the fact of the matter is, because we're spending nearly $5 million a day just on policing, while families continue to experience homelessness, unemployment, lack of access to healthcare, transportation, you can't take a certain level of urgency to protect capital and the wealthy and not have that same tenacity to provide relief for families that have been devastated through structural racism for generations.
But tonight, a Black Lives Matter peaceful protester said that looting is a form of reparations. As you said, the stores have insurance. They say it's okay to loot. It shows that they're able to eat. Is that the answer? To loot because it's a form of reparations? To loot because that's how they can eat?
The real answer is, how do we make sure, the question is, how do we make sure that people can eat? Look, no one is going to condone, behavior that quite frankly speaks to a level of desperation.
So you're not condoning looting?
I'm saying that people are acting out of desperation. We don't want a society that is acting out of desperation, but you have to pay attention to the cries that people have.
So you're not condoning looting?
There's no way to embrace that. What I'm saying is, you can't condone the looting that corporations continue to do every single day when they take tax dollars from black, brown, white folks all over the city of Chicago so that they can turn a profit.
Effort, but it's a necessary one. That the amount of money that we spend to incarcerate folks versus what we spend to educate is just, there's no comparison. There really isn't. We spend a whole lot more money to brutalize and terrorize communities, and our communities are not any safer. And you're speaking to someone, by the way, I'm raising my family on the west side of Chicago. We love it. We do. I live in the Austin community, one of the most dynamic black communities in all of the country. In fact, the Austin neighborhood used to be the largest neighborhood in the city of Chicago. But because of disinvestment and the Negro Removal Act, as I like to refer to it as, that was certainly executed and administered under the reign of the Rahm Emanuel. I'm sorry, President Barack Obama took it one step further as well, and basically said that the effort of the defund police movement lost an audience because of that that slogan, I guess is what he's calling it, which I don't look at it as a slogan. It's an actual real political goal. We know the mayor of Chicago here rebuked this call to redirect money to defund this failed, system of incarceration and policing. So whether it's the president of the United States, calling it a catchy hashtag or phrase, Lori Lightfoot, which I think is actually quite dismissive of the young people who are literally putting their lives on the line for a cause that I think, quite frankly, is not just admirable, but is necessary.